What's going on, Pixar fans and collectors? Dan Taylor from danthepixarfan.com here, back once again, finally, I know, for my detailed review of the highly anticipated Lightyear Ultimate Star Command base playset by Mattel, which hit Amazon early last month. As you might have seen me post about, I've been trying to get to this review for weeks now, so sorry for the delay, and thanks so much for your patience, by the way. But today's the day, guys. I am here, I am so psyched and ready to dive into every detail of this massive set, and yeah, this is gonna be a big one, everyone, so sit back, relax, and get ready, cause here we go. First off, as far as the box, it's big, it's awesome, it's very well done by Mattel. On both the front and the back of the box, we're shown everything and every feature this set includes, like an exclusive XL12 Buzz Lightyear 5-inch scale figure, a missile launcher with firing projectiles, a computer workstation, an area to store all 6 included missiles, a weapon storage area, a crystallic fuel cell station, a gear storage area for jetpacks and helmets, an opening door, and looky here, remember the crystal structure cards included with the crystal grade figures? Well, looks like they have a purpose after all. And then there's also a full-on crawler vehicle included, which is awesome. And then on the side here, it shows all the parts included. Looks like there's not a ton of stuff to assemble, which should make things pretty manageable and not too overwhelming when putting this beast together, despite how big it is. And here's the back of the box with callouts to all the major areas of play/features, and something noteworthy I wanted to mention, I just thought it was interesting that it looks like the Armadillo ship originally was gonna come with XL1 Buzz and a fuel cell, but as we know, that didn't happen, so maybe Mattel just realized that combo didn't make any sense. Anyway, it shows how the crawler vehicle works with the other ships, sold separately of course, and here's a closer look at the back of the package here, and man is this thing epic. If you know me, I love playsets. Like I always say, no action figure line is complete without at least one playset, and Mattel really seemed to have knocked it out of the park here with this one, even going old school once again by not being afraid of making this thing huge. So yeah, this set requires 3 AAA batteries, not included, and here's a convenient perforated area right here to get things opened up, so let's not waste any time and get all the pieces out, shall we? Okay, and here's a peek at how everything looks upon opening, and man, I said it didn't look like a lot on the box, but now that things are opened up, it looks like that I got my work cut out for me for the next little while, so I'll definitely let you know how long I feel everything takes. Really, the main thing that will add some time when assembling this, and I didn't even know they were gonna be these, but I should have known, is putting on the decals. There's a bunch of them, so get ready. I also wanted to show some quick shots of the instructions for anyone interested in seeing those for whatever reason. Maybe you're watching this down the road and misplaced your original ones or something, so here you go. Battery installation and sticker placement are featured on the first 2 pages. Assembly and how to open the playset are on the next 2. How to play is on the next 2, and something I wanted to point out here is it's cool that they included the upcoming XL7 ship as part of one of the compatible ships that can be used with the crawler vehicle. I should also mention that it looks like the Capture and Protect mission ship, releasing in November, also has the same holes underneath as well, so that should be compatible too. Anyway, on the back of the instructions, it shows how to close the playset, and that is it, everyone. Those are the instructions, and real quick, here's a closer look at the decals. I gotta document everything here, and I really do like the pops of color and details that these are gonna add. Okay, and here we go. Here's everything out of the box. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put all the decals on. By the way, I do recommend doing that first before anything else. Then I'll install the batteries, put everything together, and I'll be back with the crawler vehicle first, as well as the included figure before diving into the playset itself. With that said, here's the crawler vehicle, which is really neat. It's pretty awesome that this playset comes with an entirely new, separate, pretty big vehicle that could have been released on its own technically. So yeah, it's cool that we get that here as an exclusive. Now, if you remember in the film, this is the Star Command vehicle that's used to move all the XL ships into the launching position. It's not an exact match to what we see on screen, but it comes real close. The general shape, the look, the colors are certainly here, as well as some movie-accurate details, but of course everything here with this toy version is just way scaled down. Underneath here, we have real rolling wheels, and as you can see, I've already applied the decals. At first, I was confused why stickers were going on the bottom of this thing when they wouldn't ever really be seen, but then I quickly remembered that this vehicle actually ends up having a double duty and serves as the front of the playset as well once it's all assembled, so keep that in mind. This platform that a ship will end up attaching to lifts up and extends like so, and it is a ratchet joint, which was a good call, and then to lower it back down into the starting position, just hold down this orange button while pushing the platform down as well. And there you go, everyone. There you have the crawler vehicle. Oh, and one more thing, I did want to point out that there are some peg holes here on the back of the vehicle, as well as the front actually, that you can attach figures to, so that's a little added plus as well. And speaking of the figures, here's your closer look at the included XL12 Buzz Lightyear figure. Now, why the XL12 Buzz was included here out of all the suits is beyond me. It would have been nice to get something brand new. As you know, this version of Buzz was already released as part of Walmart's Crystal Grade series of figures, but either way, I know many of you are wondering if this is the exact same XL12 Buzz figure as the Crystal Grade version, or different in any way, and I'm here to tell you that it is a little different actually. It's not just a straight repack, but it does come close. As you can see, we got the playset version of XL12 Buzz there on the left, and the Crystal Grade version on the right. And while it is the same sculpt, the paint and deco are slightly different. See, the chest modules are different, also the playset one doesn't have painted knees, and the playset version doesn't have the blue patch on the arm. So for the most part, I'd say the playset pack-in XL12 Buzz is essentially kind of a watered-down version of the Crystal Grade XL12 Buzz, except I do actually think the eyes were improved with the pack-in version. While it's the same head sculpt and facial expression, I kind of dig how the eyes were printed bigger this time around. They're not quite as beady as the Crystal Grade release. I will admit though, the rest of the paint on the head of the playset Buzz that I got is a tad sloppy unfortunately, but that issue won't be the same for everyone. Moving along, before I reveal the playset all assembled, here's a closer look at the 6 included missiles, all of which are identical. And here it is, everyone. Here we got the Ultimate Star Command base playset, all assembled, decals applied, and ready to go. Probably took me about 30 to 40 minutes, that's with some distractions, my 2-year-old son was helping me. So anyway, to get this thing opened up, first we remove the crawler vehicle from the front like this. And you know what, I didn't show the rolling action before, so I wanted to quickly do that here. We got the aforementioned rolling wheels, and there we go, nice and smooth. I'm really happy this one actually has rolling wheels, unlike the Starships, which all just have static molded wheels. Now, as far as size before opening things up, looks like we're at about 26 inches tall and roughly 24.5 inches wide. But yeah, guys, I am so ready to play with this sucker and dive into all the fun features with you all. First though, I just wanted to do a brief scan of the outside here, just to get all up in these fantastic little molded details, and so you can see kind of how the mechanisms are all tucked away neatly in there. And as you'll see in a sec, it's super impressive how this thing extends up and folds out. Also, here's a closer look at how the crawler vehicle latches onto the main base to create the front of the playset. And here's a quick glimpse at the back of the playset. We got the battery compartment there, and while there aren't any play areas or play features back here, I still wanted to show what it looks like. There are some molded details throughout that are kind of cool, like pipes and some kind of controls, stuff like that. So I do appreciate the effort there to give it at least some interest. Okay, you've waited long enough. Here we go, everyone. It is time for the full reveal of this epic playset all opened up. So, the front of the playset, which again is the crawler vehicle, just gets lifted off like this and put to the side for now. Then all you have to do, this is real simple, guys, is press this orange button here, and I recommend holding down the base with the other hand, but it's not totally necessary. And yeah, just lift, and that is it. You just lift until you feel it lock into place, and you are ready for play, my friends. You will notice that the upper levels are a little bit wobbly, but it's stable enough for how tall and narrow it is. The gun's position can be adjusted, of course. The fuel cell and computer stations can move side to side, and I'll dig into the other details shortly. But first, I wanted to show how the crawler vehicle works with the ships. I'll show off the XL-15 first. So, there are 4 holes underneath the ship. Just line them up with the pegs on top of the crawler vehicle. Now lift until it reaches the full launching position, and there we have it. Also a super simple setup. Then for the full effect, wheel the vehicle toward the playset like this, and bam. We are ready for takeoff, and wow, things look even cooler than they already were before, right? The whole look of this set is just fantastic, and I cannot wait to populate it with the rest of the figures and vehicles from this collection. Now the measurements, once it's all opened up, look to be about, wow, essentially a full yardstick wide, so about 36 inches there, and then right around 31.5 inches tall. Alright, so here it is, everyone. Now, this is still not 100% complete, not yet. I still gotta add in the missiles, plus the weapons, helmets, and fuel cells from the other figures to the storage areas, but here's a quick overview of the bare bones playset. Okay, so we got the 2 safety lookout platforms on either side, missile storage for the 6 included missiles, as well as weapon storage back there. There's the sliding computer workstation, plus a peg hold there so a figure can stand sturdy while manning the blaster. On the opposite side, there's this fuel cell station where you can snap in 2 fuel cells, sold separately with other figures, of course. Now, I will say I don't love how 1 fuel cell is already molded in here and not removable, since, I mean, we have gotten way more than 2 fuel cell accessories across this line so far, but that's that. Anyway, there's another platform with pegs there at this station as well. And then moving along to the lower level, there's the opening door, and then the window that you can slide the crystal grade crystal structure cards into, and the shelf storage area for the jetpacks and helmets. There's also a good amount of pegs for the figures down here on the base as well. Whether for play or display, pegs sure come in handy. Speaking of pegs, I also just noticed some pegs on the, I don't know what you'd call them, the support beams, but that's kind of cool if you want to pose out and display figures for whatever reason there. There are also pegs on the top of the base, as well as both platforms, and I really like the use of the iconic Star Command logo or insignia on the different platforms. Really nice little touch. Also, I wanted to point out this tiny detail. It's really small and hard to read, but if you look closely, it does say XL01 on the middle monitor, resembling some kind of air traffic control display. And by the way, if it wasn't obvious, this whole playset, mainly the kind of triangular shape of it all, is heavily inspired by the pyramid-esque structure built there on the Takani Prime Star Command base in the film. Creative liberties were taken, of course, when transferring that design to toy form here, but Mattel definitely captured the overall vibe, I think. Now, what do you say we start adding in all the accessories and test out the different features, right? So first up, the missile launcher. Add in the 2 missiles like so, and pew! And here's what it looks like with all 6 missiles stored in the designated area. Love how on this side, there's a specific spot for one of each of the main Lightyear weapons, the laser spear, the Cupid spear shooter, Mr. Boom, the standard Space Ranger blaster, and the big Beetle laser rifle. And here's Buzz on either of the lookout platforms, utilizing the pegs to keep the figure nice and secure. I mean, like I mentioned, things are a little loosey-goosey, a little wobbly up here for sure, but at least the figure isn't going anywhere once he's plugged into the pegs, so that's good. And then here we have Buzz at the secondary computer workstation featuring 2 additional monitors where you can have Buzz calculate his flight plans or whatever he might do here, I don't know. And here's Buzz up on one of the beams in an action-packed moment. And lastly, for the second level at least, here's the Crystallic Fuel Station. So grab a couple of the fuel cell accessories that come with some of the previously released figures, and I found the easiest way to get these in is just to insert them from the back here like this and push to snap in. We'll do the same thing over here with this one. In and push. And again, this station can move side to side as well. Now, as far as getting the fuel cells out, I found the easiest way is just to slide them up a little and then give them a slight tug and they'll pop right on out just like this. And again, there's a little platform here on this station as well, so that can definitely be utilized during play or when creating your masterful Lightyear figure display, which I know you will. Okay, sweet, moving along. Now, as far as the gear storage area here on the bottom level, Buzz's jetpack from the deluxe mission-equipped Buzz can fit in here like this. In fact, as you can see, 2 can fit in here, though I just have 1, so that's just gonna have to do for now. Then I just grabbed a handful of random helmets from a variety of different Lightyear 5-inch scale figures, and what's cool is you can store 6 of them comfortably here on these shelves. Next up, we got that opening door here on this side. You just open things up manually here, and...
Hey, look, it's Buzz!
And of course, I had to throw in Eric here on the base, and again, I'm really hoping for the other different colored variations of him to place around this set. And here is something that many of you have been curious about for a long time, and I'm happy to report, once again if you missed it, that the crystal structure cards that come with the Walmart crystal grade figures aren't just a fun collectible card accessory, which is what I initially thought. Nope, they're actually compatible with this playset and can slide into this window here, so you can have the figures pretend they're reviewing the specs of all the different XL crystals and ships. Speaking of, on the reverse side of the cards, there are graphics for the XL ships. Each card features a different ship, of course, so you can display them this way in the window as well. Now, I do wish the cards weren't so lopsided when you slide them in. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. It seems like there's only one way to slide them in, though. Anyway, you can let me know about your experience, but that's just a small critique on my end. I also wanted to note that the mysterious holes on each crystal structured card don't seem to serve a purpose after all, at least not here with this particular playset. Maybe that will be for a feature with a different set down the road or something, or maybe they're just pointless. I don't know. Definitely just wanted to mention that though, since I know a few of you have been wondering. Next up, before I get into all the sounds and phrases, I just wanted to show you all how you can manually launch the ships off the crawler vehicle. Just move things into position like this, then just pull the ship straight upward and it detaches off the platform with ease like so. Pretty cool, right? My son loves doing this over and over. Again, you can do the same thing with the Armadillo vehicle. I just wanted to show what that ship looks like on the crawler as well. Really neat. And then here's the XL1 ship also ready to launch, which I think actually looks the coolest out of the ships on the crawler, especially when in the launch ready position. Seriously, this is like straight out of the film. Oh, also, how could I not show the base utility vehicle with the Star Command base itself? So here you go. Looks awesome, right? Okay, finally, let's go ahead and hear and see all the lights, sounds, and phrases included here.
To infinity and beyond. Are we ready to launch? Star Command, come in. I can fix this. Commander, status! I'll take those odds. Launch now! Go back to the ship! Come on, we're sitting ducks here. Pull up the flight plan, please, Ivan. Okay, here goes. Commander, I'm surrounded by xenomorphs. If I may, we have one objective. Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command. Copy control, initiating hyperlaunch. XL1 to mission control, do you copy? You have to keep your guard up and your head on a swivel. I'll make this right, Commander. I'll finish the mission. Ivan, push the engines all the way. Maximum power. Airman Diaz, are we ready to launch? Roger that. Hyperspeed, here I come.
Also, don't forget when you hold down the button for a few seconds, that'll activate some additional sound effects. Alrighty guys, phew, I think I covered everything. So to close things up, it's real easy. Just press the same orange button you press to open everything and the whole playset will lower and close on its own. This is real time, nothing sped up or slowed down, and there's no motor or anything like that. This is literally just gravity at work here, which is pretty fantastic. And the last step when closing everything up is to latch the crawler vehicle on the front once again. And that is it, everyone. And while this thing is pretty massive and tall once it's opened up, just know that the whole thing is also pretty flat, so it really doesn't take up as much space as you'd think, especially when closed up like this. And there we have it, everyone. That is my unboxing and review of the Ultimate Star Command base playset. I can't recommend this enough. This is a must-have if you've been collecting Mattel's Lightyear 5-inch scale action figure collection. And if you are interested in purchasing this, you can snag it on Amazon right now for $99.99. Anyway, thank you so much for supporting my content today by watching this review, and as usual, I can't wait to hear all your thoughts, so be sure to leave a comment and or any questions you might have down below, and if you did enjoy today's review, please consider giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Pixar toy news, reviews, and toy hunts. Find me all over social media at Dan the Pixar Fan, and I will catch you all in my next video.